Somebody's having fun. Oh wait, is it me too? Oh, greetings. Yeah, so I'm out for a walkabout this morning. The sun was shining. Oh my God, it's like it was calling me. It's like I had to get out and bask in it. Oh, yeah. So what do I want to talk about today? Wow, so pretty out. I wanted to talk about religion and where I'm at spiritually. For the record, I want to let you know I am not religious, but I am spiritual. However, I was raised in the South, like in the Bible Belt. And it's like a culture here, you know? Religion, Jesus, the Jesus culture. I like their music, by the way, Jesus culture. Oh, look, deer tracks. Hold on. Oh, deer tracks. Cool, huh? Somebody built the fire out here. They're not supposed to do that. Hold on. Okay, so back to the Jesus culture I was raised in. I mean, yeah, I grew up in the church. I mean, like when I was 9 years old. You ever heard of Billy Graham? Well, Billy Graham personally, not in a stadium, just him and I, he put his arm around me and he personally led me to Christ. He birthed me into the kingdom of God, as they say here in the South. And so, hence started my Christian education. And I didn't know who he was. I was just a 9-year-old child. This guy, my fourth grade teacher, Miss Gowen, who was also my music teacher, and she was one of my favorite teachers. She was my English teacher, and then she was my music teacher for like 4 years after fourth grade. It's like she followed me 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, and she was one of my favorite teachers. She was a mentor to me, and she was an amazing woman. But anyway, Miss Gowen went to this First Baptist church, and the pastor there, he was friends with Billy Graham. So he came to our little town to preach in his little Baptist church. And she invited the class, you know, and of course not everyone went, but I mean, even as a child, I mean, I was in another church before then, like a Pentecostal holiness church. And I went to that church from the age of 3. I sung in the choir, and I sometimes played the piano to take up the offering. But I didn't really have an experience with this Christ spirit until Billy Graham said that little prayer with me, and he had a little talk with me afterwards, and he asked me, you know, if I understood what I had just did, and asked in this Jesus Christ into my heart. And it was like a spiritual thing, you know. And I mean, my heart was wide open, you know, and it was soft towards God, and it's still soft towards the things of God, just not in like a Baptist sense, you know, because I've since had another awakening. And then when I was 19, I had like another awakening. Like the Spirit came to me, and it worked with me, and it came to me through other people, and it called to me. And oh my gosh, just the synchronicities within that awakening alone. But needless to say, I was pulled back into the church through this endeavor of Spirit working through others. I mean, I guess he just worked with who he had to work with at the time. And, you know, how to cut this short, oh my God, because it's God, I can write a book on this alone. But on my journey through Christianity. But at 19, so I had an awakening. And you know, it took me a few churches, a few denominations. I started back out in the Holiness Church, and it took some working for me to find where I could serve in my community spiritually. So I learned, and I grew in my ministry. I went through leadership training, all sorts of mentorships, years and years. I went to Bible college. I did work in the ministry. I did serve for a good 25 years after then, before I had another awakening. And something happened, spiritually. I mean, I had just grown all I could grow in that space, and I wanted more. And so Spirit moves in my life like in amazing ways, always has, ever since I was a child, with signs and wonders following. I was baptized in the Spirit. I'm one of those tongue talking people that speaks with the tongues of angels, and angels visit me. They always have, ever since I was a child. But I don't share these things openly with very many people, only trusted few, close people. The particulars of the visitations I had in the past. And there's just been so many awakenings, like I said, so many levels that I've, worked through in my life. But I broke away from the church, like, I don't know, 2011, 2012, I went through another awakening, and I began to see things in the church that didn't vibe with what was in my heart. So the corruption was just, it was beyond what I could sit in the company of and identify with, and I wanted no part of it. So I left the church, and all my family, my friends, everybody I knew are like Christian people. And, just finding my place in this world outside of church life, the Jesus culture, has been a little bit of a challenge for me. And I've tried to move in and out of different parts of society. you know, the hippies, the new age people, all these groups, you know, um, the youth, the UFO people, you know, from MUFON. I befriended MUFON leaders, and you know, just looking for a group of people that could identify with my experiences. And you know, it's been a challenge just finding a tribe that I jive with. So I've just pretty much been to myself since COVID, because I mean we were shut down, you know, in COVID. So socializing was, you know, it's been a little bit of a challenge. So it's been mostly online, and even online, like I broke away from the people I grew up with, from coworkers. I broke away from everybody and I just started all over. You know, I had to create a place where I could grow and explore without judgment, you know, a safe place. And damn those trolls, man. It's like, what the heck? They don't have anything else to do than to, oh my God. Somebody's been burning some major fires here. It's like a nice fire. Anyway, so what I said all that to say, even online it's been a little bit of a challenge just dealing with the stupid trolls and their ridiculous stupidity, which I have an opinion about that and the agenda even behind them. But yeah, I mean, that's just a little bit of my history. I'm going to leave it at that because I don't want this to be too long. And I may piece it with another video. I'm going to continue my walk. So yeah, you know, exploring different groups of people that are into spirituality, and it's been interesting. It's been very interesting, and I appreciate I appreciate the freedom I mean, our country here in the USA, how we have that freedom to explore spirituality and grow, even through different religions or whatever. I think they all offer a little bit of this and a little bit of that. To me, it's kind of like a spice rack set up in your kitchen. You just, you know, I guess it depends on what you want to cook up, which one you pull from. I don't know. I'm just thinking. The benefit of all of them. If you take the good from all of them, and I don't know. I think for raising children, it's good to have some kind of structure like that. Like for me, I mean, I come from a broken home, you know. So the structure of the church just kind of helped me, helped my grandparents that raised me. It just kind of helped provide a certain structure for guidance and direction, you know. And you know, if I veered off this way or that, which sometimes we do, we're human, you know, through some sort of rebellion, which I don't even think there's anything wrong with the rebellion. I think rebellion is just a way, you know, like through adolescence or whatever. I think rebellion is just a way that we test things to see what works and what does not work, you know. You can mix psychology in that if you want to. I don't care. Anyway, So I think it's good for structure, for young people, for families. I think it's good to have faith in something with some kind of moral structure, you know. Um, I just see the benefits in it because, you know, I've played in it and I've played out of it. I've played with it and I've played without of it, and I just like the benefits of it, you know. So yeah, especially if you're raising children. And my kids, you know, they were raised in the church and in the Christian environment, the Jesus culture and all that. And I mean, they're not religious per se, but they're finding their own way. And I respect them and I give them their space in finding their own way, because I think we all need to. You know, I mean, I did the best I could with what I had and how I knew to work with it when I raised my children. It wasn't perfect. I made a lot of mistakes, but I think it's better than not. I think they turned out pretty good, and I think they're doing pretty well. Let's just put it that way. All right, I'm gonna end this here. So yeah, so all of that just kind of set me up for my path. I think it was a place for me to incubate and grow, and Spirit to work with my heart in various ways to cultivate, to help me. I think not just Spirit, but my higher self, along with my angelic team. It's like you could see my steps ordered, per se. The synchronicities are just, oh my God, like I said, I could write a book on it, on that alone. How I've been led. But, where did I want to go with that? I wanted to go somewhere with that. So yeah, the Jesus culture is a big part of the community I grew up in. So it still comes out in my speech, in my writing. I mean, it's, you know, it's just part of the culture I even live in now. So, and it's like a language, you know, it's just the terms that I use. Just because I use those terms doesn't mean I'm religious. It's just like, it's a language, you know. It's just a language and a way to communicate certain thoughts. That's all. That's all I was trying to say. I said all that just to say that. So yeah, I may confuse some people, especially folks who have no religious training or education, you know. So I may confuse people in the way I use certain phrases, but I just want to make that clear. I am not religious. I've worked hard, especially since 2011, 2012, to work that shit out of me. And, you know, there may be, you know, some things still a pop up. And I'll make the adjustments where I need to when I see, you know, when the truth comes, right? The Spirit of truth. The Spirit of truth is pretty amazing. The truth is the truth. It really does set us free, you know. I love the spirit of truth. I've always had a thing with the spirit of truth. So truth and honesty, you know, especially in the spirit world. So I think the laws are a little different when you're working with truth and you bring that into this realm, you know. It just shines the light on things and shows us the way things really are. And I love that. I love working with what really is, you know. If that makes sense. Which it does make sense. You get what I'm saying. Gosh, I'm just so excited for warm weather. I'm so tired of winter. I'm just ready for spring. It usually doesn't start warming up in this area of the country till around after Easter. We usually have like a cold come in right around Easter, if not Easter, and then after Easter it just starts warming up after then. So we're getting close. And so what? Today's March 1st. March, I love March. It's usually when we start coming out of hibernation here in the South. So I love March. And look at that. I just want to jump in. It's not warm enough yet. It looks so inviting. This water is its own like quartz crystal beds. This part of the country is, the energy's good here. I like it. I love the quartz crystal. Look. I mean, it just pops up out of the ground. It's everywhere. When it rains, it just comes out of the ground. It's awesome. There's my little island where I do yoga. The lone island. I don't know what these cut marks are here. I've dug out here before, this crystal. Just big old chunks of it. Milky quartz. A lot of granite in this area too. Lately, I've discovered the tarot, and I've been dabbling in that a bit, just learning about the story behind it and playing with the cards and energy cards, oracle cards, and things of that nature. I like how the cards pop out of my hand. It's like, whoa, it's kind of, it's not spooky, but it's like there's an energy there that makes certain cards pop out. And I just think it's so cool, and I'm really enjoying learning how to work with that energy. Which I think it's my higher self making those cards pop like that. But it's so cool. It's really so cool working with, it's just a tool, you know. I think they call it divination, which I hate using that word just because of, you know, I was raised in the Bible, the King James Bible, that I grew up, you know, living my life by those rules. It says that in the Old Testament, it was commanded that we not play with divination, but we all know that a lot of the scriptures were misinterpreted and turned and twisted to to yield an agenda in them. So I can see why they wouldn't want anyone other than the priest having the power to contact God for them. But I'm sure even back then, everyone, you know, it wasn't just the priests that were awake to the things of the Spirit. I'm sure their higher selves tapped quite a few people on the shoulder, I'm sure, and showed them a thing or two about the spirit world. So, I mean, I don't see why it would be any different then as it is today, because my higher self sure did do that to me. So I find it fascinating how there's been so much energy and effort put into suppressing spirituality. I don't know though, but then maybe, you know, it is okay, because, you know, some things, it's like treasure. To me, it's a treasure. And to go hunting for it and find these precious nuggets of truth and wisdom and, you know, things like that. It's cool. It's just cool. I love it. I love this stuff so much. So yeah, I just wanted to share a little bit of that with y'all. I don't know if I'll piece all these segments together or put them out there separately. I'm not sure yet. But I hope I get some feedback on this from somebody. My God, there's my little buddy, the fox squirrel. He's a long ways away from where he usually is. Hey guy, what are you eating? Oh my gosh, you're so cute. I love your face. What are you eating? Hi. You're so stinking cute. Oh my God. See you later.